Well, good evening, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I'm getting ready to set up for our live stream for the Giants versus Kansas City. This is literally change your season game tonight. Kansas City needs to get back on track after going to the Super Bowls back-to-back. They just seem bad. Their defense has been atrocious. Pat Mahomes looks like a mere mortal, and it seems like teams have kind of figured them out and that they're having that Super Bowl hangover. And then there's the New York Giants, the team that has lost more games since 2017 than anybody else, including that other team in New York, the New York Jets. Daniel Jones has left a lot to be desired, being a first-round drafted quarterback, and they need to get something going. They seem to be, of course, in bad shape, but they did get the victory last week, so they're trying to get back-to-back victories. We'll see what happens. And my boy, Cop Pizzle is supposed to live stream tonight, and if he does, I'm going to be watching my son. My little boy, and see if he can act like he's got some sense. But I wanted to address something. I said last night as we were watching the game, I sat there sitting next to good old DMV. I said, you know what's going to happen? I said, come tomorrow, we're going to have some people that will say Dak Prescott's overpaid, overhyped, that he literally needs to go. And so I didn't want to do it, but I got to go to the dumbass comment of the day. I saw this on Instagram. Let me read it. Dak riders want to talk about it. Cooper Rush, who everybody thinks stinks, with 325 yards at over 8 yards an attempt. Exclamation point. Dak is highly overrated, benefiting from greatly the best supporting offensive cast in the league. I know half of you wanted them to lose tonight. Well, I'll be the first one to say I did not want them to lose tonight. And I will say collectively that was more than anything else a team win. Let's say Cooper Rush had the defense from last year out there. You know, the defense that was giving up 36 points a game. We lose that game going away. That defense stopping Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings offense, holding them to 276 yards, goes a long way at helping that team. But I'm not going to dismiss that Cooper Rush had a great game yesterday. He did. Although he left a little bit to desire, where the double high safety, the interception that was right there. There were some passes where you looked at it and said if he could have put a little bit more air in it, it would have been better. If you looked at that and honestly said there's no difference between Dak Prescott and Cooper Rush, you are sadly mistaken. You really are sadly mistaken. The other point on this is, and like I said, I don't want to take away, Cooper Rush in my mind is now part of Cowboys lore with Clint Longley and Jason Garrett's Thanksgiving Day games where it was improbable for them to win. And let's be clear here. In the NFL, the quarterback is the key and the be-all, end-all of everything. It's not the only thing, because we can look at Pat Mahomes and the amount of touchdowns that he has right now this year, but you see him having a defense that's terrible. They're like the Dallas Cowboys of last year. But I'll add one other thing to this. The thing about Jason Garrett and Clint Longley, when you saw what they did, Clint Longley was known as the Mad Bomber. Everybody said, oh, my God, where'd this guy come from? He is going to be incredible. Funny thing is that was a one-hit wonder. He felt himself the next year and thought that, hey, I should be the guy. Tugging on Superman's cape, Roger Staubach, and trying to pick a fight. Turned out that was his swan song. He ended up getting traded to San Diego, never to be heard from again. Jason Garrett, who had the most points in a second half, 36 points. 36 points in the second half. was never the guy as far as quarterback goes. And by the way, 36 points in a half of football is a Cowboy record. And when you're talking about having Roger Staubach and Troy Aikman and Tony Romo and everything else, Jason Garrett has that record. Jason Garrett played an incredible game. But the funny thing is a lot of times when you see a quarterback play for the first time, there is no book out on him. I'll give you Tyler Heineke for the Washington football team. Tyler Heineke in the playoffs, we're talking about playoffs, against Tampa Bay, came close to beating Tampa Bay. To the point where Washington said, after Ryan Fitzpatrick got hurt, we don't need to trade for no stinking quarterback. We got Tyler Heineke. Did you see what he did in the playoffs last year? That boy is good. That boy is real good. Well, the thing is there's no book out on what that guy does. The interesting thing about the NFL is how defensive coordinators figure out everything. They've got people that their job is they have them locked in an office, and all they do is study players to find out their strengths and weaknesses and how to defeat them. That's why in the NFL, if you're not changing and evolving and getting better, you're getting worse because the other guys are catching up to you. To think, and I hope that Cooper Rush is really good because that truly benefits us to have two quarterbacks, to know that Cooper Rush, if something happens to Dak, we don't have to worry about trying to sign somebody else. That we've got a guy who's there who can at least hold serve for us, who won't be the one to lose the game for us. But if your thought is Dak Prescott is overrated and we need to get rid of him, dude, I don't know how to help you because you got more problems than I can help you with. You are just crazy. But then again, what do I know? I'm a guy with a day job and a voodoo doll that's getting ready to watch the Giants versus Kansas City and watch my boy.
I got something for you, baby. So what I want you to do, Mark, what I want you to do when you're streaming, I want you to look at the shirt that I'm going to be wearing during the game. Because I'm going to be wearing this shirt. Because I got a feeling this is going to be my good luck charm for the rest of the way. Because this is so typical. Dallas Cowboys right here. 5,000 around my neck. This is so typical of Dallas Cowboys fandom right here. And I've sat here and I've looked at this t-shirt for over a week and I've embraced it, Mark. I fucking love it. What I want you to do, Mark, seeing as you're my daddy and all, I want